To prepare for our drawing, we're going to need to create an exploded view. The exploded views live under the configurations tab, and so we can have a configuration within a part that drives geometry, and we can have configurations within assemblies that control things like position, our static, dynamic, suppression states of do parts show up or not, and then also within the display states, if they're tied to the configuration, then we can control things like the visual properties, the colors, the textures, some of those more artsy style of with the components. All right, so I want to create an exploded view. I'm currently in the default configuration. When I go into the exploded view, we can do this as a single. So we're going to try that first and see what we get. So explode step 1. I'm going to turn on the auto space components. And this is a little bit different. So center of bounding box to order, rear of bounding box, and what do we have? Front of bounding box. So earlier versions don't have that. So we're going to play with that a little bit and see what we get. So the selected components, we'll grab the pin, the crank, the pin, the coupler, the pin, the follower, and the pin. All right, so there's my list of components. And as I scroll down, we have a distance that we've set, and we're about midway on the auto space of the components. If I grab the Z arrow and start to drag, these are going to fly off into space. All right, so some new orbitals, new geometry, but that doesn't look too bad. Let's double click and just go 0.75. Trying to get a little more spacing on the pins. Let's go into the isometric. So Control 7. Need to click in the work area so it's active. And zoom back up on it. All right, and to control the spacing, I'm going to drag the slider and close that up a little bit so that we make it a little more compact. All right, and there's our first explode view. I'm not going to worry about the connection lines just yet. We will do that in the future videos. The main thing to keep in mind here is a lot of people starting out want to save this as a separate assembly. This configuration exploded view lives inside of this assembly. So what you want to get used to is double clicking on the explode to collapse it. Double clicking on the explode will expand it, explode it. Or we can right click and collapse, right click and explode, and animate the collapse so we can kind of see how everything comes together. And all of our settings for the for how fast everything happens and takes place. All right, so we're going to save this and let it rebuild. Get to my working folder. And so something along the lines of the project. And we'll go ahead and put the full without the abbreviation there. So, and save it, and that will get us to the to be ready for our drawing views and some of the additional functions.